become old, my heart leaps in joy to see his tiny feet and toes. As he sleeps in peace, I pray to Krishna that he becomes a happy man who will make a girl a very happy woman one day. I want my boy to have the best childhood and grow up a happy boy.
I dreamed that mother and I went to meet father. We were sitting in a horse carriage. The horseman knew my father. The carriage stopped in front of a tall building. The driver took us to meet my father. There he was, a tall, handsome man waiting for us. He welcomed me with open arms, kissed me on my forehead and said, "Welcome to Bombay." I was so happy to see him after so many years. "Did you have fun coming here?" father asked me. Afterwards, mother and father played hide and seek with me. Growing up, I missed my father. My mother, a single mom, gave me everything material and plenty of love, but I still missed my father. Mother went to the Krishna temple every day to pray. She loved birds and animals. She took fruits, seeds and vegetables for squirrels, birds and cows. PK, you have to be kind to birds and animals. They have emotions like us. They feel hurt and pain like us. They love each other like us. My mother's words had a deep influence on my mind. I learned to love birds and animals. A squirrel and a parrot were my mother's favorites. They came to meet us every morning and eat the goodies mother brought for them. We called the parrot Chili and the squirrel Poppy. Chili was a handsome parrot who brought his girlfriend with him even to our house. Poppy was an accumulator. He ran away with seeds. Mother said Poppy was storing them for the winter. Mother did not discipline Poppy. PK, eat slowly and chew properly. Eat less than your appetite, mother said. She learned this wisdom from her mother. I wanted to play with Poppy, but mother said no. PK, they are nature's children. Earn their trust. If they trust you and know that you mean no harm, they will come and play with you. Mother was right. I saw Chili and Poppy play with their friends. Wondered about them. Where did they sleep at night in winters and during rains? Mother said they are intelligent and have shelters for such times.
PK, do not cry. Look at all these children, they are like you. Do you see anyone crying?
I want to go home, I said. After mother left me in the class, something magical happened. I started jumping and laughing. All the other children followed me. Mrs. Patel, my teacher, said I was a born joker. I fell in love with my school and everyone in my class. After all these years, I remember all the boys and girls in my nursery school class. My school days were the best years of my childhood. We sang songs. We danced. I loved climbing on the chair and jumping up and down. I was a leader of my class. The kids followed me. Mrs. Patel, our teacher, was truly a great teacher. She taught us so many fun things while we played. She knew how to combine play with learning. Everyone had such fun in our class. We napped on the carpet in the school. We ran and played in the school playground.
Look at the butterflies, look at the hummingbird, come dance and sing, let us have some fun. Look at the flowers, look at the birds, look at the blue sky, let us have some fun. Flap your arms like the butterfly, swing like the hummingbird, look there, having fun, we too must have some fun.
My name is PK. I like to have fun on all days. I like ice cream. I like candy. Though mama says sweets cause tooth decay, I brush my teeth twice a day so that tooth fairy does not take my teeth away. Mama, can we keep a pet? All my friends have pets. Ravi has a bunny. Sony has a cat. Rinky has a puppy and Tony has a bird.
See that bird in the sky? It flies high in the sky whenever it wants to. It is free to do anything it wants to. It can take care of itself.
A pet becomes a prisoner of someone and cannot even take care of itself. Krishna did not want humans to make birds and animals pets.
I became interested in science. I started reading about space, rockets and robots. Physics fascinated me. I was ahead of my fellow students but enjoyed sharing my knowledge with them. I am sure some were jealous of me because my school teachers treated me with much respect. Most of the students who had difficulties sought my help in studies. I was a small boy. Due to my intellect, nobody tried to bully me. Mother did not have to teach me or worry about my studies. She insisted that the two of us pray to Krishna every morning and evening. Mother was a true believer in Krishna. She prayed and sang hymns in praise of Krishna. She did japa of the mantra Hare Rama Hare Krishna. Mother said it brought her peace of mind and made her happy. I wondered about Krishna. Why did he take my father away from us? Mother said everything that happens in our lives is related to our own actions. Krishna taught us the eternal truths in the Bhagavad Gita. Sadness, sorrow, misfortunes happened in everybody's life. Day follows the dark night. Change is a part of life cycle, like the seasons. Life and death are the only constant truths. On Sundays after breakfast, we went to the beach. We walked on the wet sand, watched fishes and birds. We made sand castles. We ate snacks and ran on the beach. Mother was truly happy during our visit to the beach. I think it reminded her of her childhood.
Let us go to the farmhouse on Saturday afternoons. PK, you will love to play with goats and calves. We will feed the cows and goats.
During the evenings and on holidays, Mother and I went to the park. We walked around quietly. Mother was silent during our park visits. I wondered why did she become so quiet and sad during the visits to the park. After I finished high school, I got admission in the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay. To keep herself busy, Mother, who was a teacher, started tutoring a girl June in our home. I started liking June. She had an innocent face and deep blue expressive eyes. Her smile melted my heart.
PK, it is getting dark. Walk with June to her home.
I heard from you, Mother, that you are going to Bombay to study in IIT. You must be very smart.
I wanted to sing a romantic song telling her that I was charmed by her beauty. June, I am just an ordinary boy.
PK, you're too young to fall in love with girls. You are going to IIT. There will be many boys and girls who are smarter than you. Stay focused now. Studies and career are your priority. Congratulations, June. Your mother told me that you are soon getting engaged to a boy.
My first romance ended as quickly as it had started. A few days before my departure to Bombay, I dreamed of my parents playing hide and seek with me. PK, do not worry. Krishna is watching over you, Father said.
Rocky, I want you to take care of PK in Bombay. He is not street smart like you.
Sunita, auntie, as long as Rocky is around, there is nothing to worry about.
My first day at the IIT was confusing. I made friends with Sam, a girl who had come to study from Nigeria. I could not remember the names of many students. I was talking to May, a girl in my class, when Rocky barged in my class.
PK and young lady, meet my friend Tally. I am Rocky, PK's cousin. I will show you to some fun places in Bombay in the evening. PK and May, this is the best market in Bombay. That is Natraj, the movie theater. That is New Mexico, the best restaurant, and that is Lights, the disco for young people like you. May, that is Pizza Queen. You will find the best pizza there. Hey PK, give me all the money you have. I will return it to you tomorrow. I owe that girl Picky some money.
PK, I do not trust your cousin. I think you should stay away from him.
You are right, May. He seems to have become a shady man.
I did not know at the time much about cousin Rocky. Later the police told me that he was involved in drug deals. He was selling crack cocaine to college students. He was making a lot of money in such deals. Tally was a computer science student that Rocky had enrolled in his activities. The two were living a lavish life. They were spending money like water on girls, prostitutes, and fun. Finally, the police found out about Rocky and his activities. Rocky was in trouble with police and the drug mafia. Rocky and Tally hid in the college library during the day and stayed in the research building at night. Nobody was there in the research building at night. They were desperate, so they begged, borrowed, and stole money. The police had warned me to stay away from them. I wanted no trouble. I prayed that Rocky would be safe. Rocky stole all my money. Thankfully, other students in May helped me. Rocky was my favorite cousin growing up. He was so full of love and energy. It was sad to see him fall like this. It was frustrating to see him behave badly, lie, and steal.
PK, these people are lying. You know me. I am a good guy. I am not a drug dealer or a criminal. Ask Tally.
PK, I know you love Rocky, but he is a criminal. He stole your money. He is a liar and an antisocial. You will be in trouble if you try to help him.
You are right, May. PK, I need your help. Criminals are after me. I want you to let us stay in your room tonight. We will leave tomorrow morning. Rocky, I am sorry. I can't help you. May and I studied together and discussed and solved our assignments together. May was very bright. Mama was right. IIT was full of bright students. We enjoyed going to the Central Park that was next to the IIT. One day Rocky and Tilly came to the park where we were chatting. I want to talk to you alone. PK, come with me. PK, did you tell my mother that I am a drug dealer? I stole money from you. Rocky, I have not talked to your mother. I told my mother that I am busy with my studies and do not meet you. I have not said anything related to you to anyone in your family or to my mother. PK, you are a liar and I am going to break all your bones today. Rocky kicked and punched me. He knocked me down. I was bleeding from my nose. I did not hit him. How could I hit him? He was my own cousin brother, but he beat me badly. May took me to the hospital. They did a CAT scan. After a few hours of observation, they released me. I was badly shaken. I was heartbroken. I did not have any siblings. Rocky was my older brother. I did not even tell my mother about him.
Do not feel bad, PK. It was not your fault. Stay away from Rocky now.
I forgot all about Rocky and his sordid business. May and I studied together. We had become good friends, but I remember Mama's words. PK, you have to focus on studies and career. Girls can wait. May was a fellow student and study mate, nothing more. She challenged me mentally and we complemented each other. Lizzie was one of the other girls in my class. The boys called her Lizard. I treated her with much respect. I did not call her names. She saw me and May study together. She expressed a keen desire to join our group. May and I had no problems. The three of us studied together and helped each other. We hung out together in the evenings. During the weekends, we took short trips to fun locations to do hiking and exploring nature.
PK, you are lucky because you are a man. It is not easy to be a woman in this world. For most men, we are nothing more than flesh. We are judged on our looks. This world dominated by men does not care about what is in the brain of a woman. For most men, a woman means a wife, a housemaid, and a child-producing machine. I do not think of my future in any of these roles. I want to become a space scientist. I want to explore space.
Lizzie, you are right. Pursue your dreams with passion. Do everything in your power to become a space scientist. I am sorry to hear about your bad experiences, but you have the power to change the world. We are young. We can do so much with technology today. Do not be pessimistic. During the summer vacation, Mother visited me in Bombay. The two of us explored all the fun parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and forests around Bombay. We shopped around. Mother and I exchanged our stories. I told Mom about Rocky. She was shocked to hear about his behavior. She could not believe that he assaulted me and blamed me.
PK, a forest is more than trees. It is an ecosystem with many phenomena happening at the same time. Leaves fall, animals and trees die. New life originates from the floor of the forest to the top of its roof. Decay, rejuvenation, growth and recycling of resources all are happening at the same time. This life is a journey. You will meet many travelers who will enrich your life. Focus on them. Think of Rocky as a bad accident.
I graduated with an excellent GPA from IIT. I was accepted as a PhD student in computer sciences at the Stanford University. I was going to teach the undergraduates physics. They offered me a respectable stipend to cover my expenses. I was thrilled. I did not want to be a burden on Mama. Mother came to see me off at the airport. She cried.
PK, you will never come back to India. India, and I am going to lose you forever. Don't forget your mother. Take good care of yourself. Exercise daily. Don't smoke or drink. If you can find a girl there, then tell me. I will arrange your marriage here. If you can't find a girl on your own, let me know. I will put an advertisement for you in the newspapers and on local websites. I will talk to parents of the eligible women here in India. Take good care of your health. Write to me every week. If it is not expensive, call me.
I was excited but apprehensive about my life in Stanford. I was uprooting myself. I was torn between my love for India and my desire to live and learn in America. I had lived alone in Bombay, but it was my home. America was not home. Mother's words reverberated in my ears. I wanted the best of both the worlds. I wondered if that was possible. Life was challenging in the beginning, but I made a few friends. I was extremely busy. I taught, I studied, and I learned to be more creative. I missed Mother. I tried to write to her as often as I could. I started calling her on phone weekly. In the beginning, many students made fun of my accent. Some of the students showed a bad attitude. In science and technology, it is not your accent or knowledge of English that makes you acceptable. Your knowledge and the grasp of the subject makes you acceptable. I was not there to change America. I understood the racial prejudices and bad behavior, but after a month, 98% of students in my class evaluated me as an exceptional teacher. I knew I had won the battle. The bad behavior stopped. Teaching the undergraduates was not challenging, but my field of quantum computing was a new and emerging field. My mentor was a pioneer in the subject. Dr. Harris and I became friends and collaborators. He encouraged me to think outside the box. He taught me not to be afraid of trying new approaches. If you fail, you will learn something in the process, he said. I worked long hours. I tried eating out but did not like the food. I could not eat meat in every meal. In sheer desperation, I started cooking in my apartment. I had watched my mother cook. I found cooking healing and relaxing. I packed food with me in the morning. I worked from morning till 8 in the evening. I did not watch TV. I enjoyed long walks on the university campus. The last year was extremely tough and taxing on me. I spent all my time reading, writing, and thinking. I was working on augmented reality and quantum computing. Nobody had worked on the subject before. I faced many challenges and failures, but I doggedly kept on working. I refused to give up. I told Mother that I was too busy to write long letters. I stopped writing her letters but started calling her twice a week on the phone. I was rushed in my phone calls. I felt bad about it, but my life was pulling me in different directions.
PK, do not worry about me. You have gone so far away to earn your PhD. You have a tough 1 year. Focus on work.
Life was tough and lonely. My work kept me afloat. I wrote Mother long letters telling her about my life in America. I sent her pictures. I called her every week. I encouraged Mother to buy a computer. She was reluctant. I am too old to learn how to use a computer, she said. Mother, you are not old. One is never too old to learn new things. When you come to Delhi, teach me how to use a computer, Mother said. Mother was still teaching in her school. She was tutoring 2 students at home in the evening. I finished my PhD without any problems in 3 years. My work on quantum computing had been published to critical acclaim. My examiners had read my paper. They were keen to learn more about the topic. My PhD visa was more about me telling them about my project rather than them quizzing me. It was marathon session that lasted about 9 hours. They were kind enough to let me use coffee and bathroom breaks. I graduated with honors. The graduating students celebrated with their friends and families. I cried silently that day and wished that my parents were there to watch their son get a rapturous applause when he received his degree. The day after my graduation, I received a long letter from Mother. The neighbors were giving her a hard time. She sent me her photograph. She had prematurely aged in these last 4 years. I was horrified. I wanted to start up my own computing business, but my mind was restless. The last 80 years had consumed me mentally. I lived and breathed computer science. In Bombay, May and Lizzie were my constant companions. We thought alike. We had set high goals for ourselves. We wanted to soar high in the sky. We wanted to reach our full potential. We wanted to showcase to the entire world our talents. I wanted to prove to myself that I was someone. I wanted to make my mother proud of myself. I had achieved so much, but I felt a vacuum. I was all alone in this vast and rich land. Mother had told me to find my own partner, but my work had consumed me. I did not think of anything else. I enjoyed long walks. During these long walks I developed my thoughts and ideas. One part of me wanted to return to India. I wanted to set up a new business. The other part of me was afraid to return to India. The ground reality of India could not be sugar-coated. I had not gone back to India for the last 4 years, but mother's letters portrayed the painful realities of Delhi. The neighbors harassed her. The bank officials gave her a hard time. The mad Delhi traffic overwhelmed her. The stench and garbage all around sometimes made one wonder how Indians managed to live so peacefully with so much disorder around. America had everything that a young man could hope for. Things worked in America. One could hope that India would become like America one day. America has everything perfect to offer. Why do I miss India so much then? What if mother came to live in America with me? I wondered. I was a young man who had suppressed all his wants. I had one life. Mother said happy is a man who has balance in his life. Buddha said the same thing. I wanted to enjoy my naan one day, but have the ability to have chicken Alfredo the next day or tandoori chicken the next day. Happiness was not possible sitting in front of a computer writing codes and algorithms. I had to find a new way to live my life. I was a believer. I believed in the powers of prayer and meditation. I believed in Krishna. I did not think of Krishna as the giver of gifts. Krishna was my guide. I knew when I prayed and did japa I got clarity of thoughts. Krishna spoke to me through my ideas and thoughts. I met Kathy at work. She was interested in Indic Dharma. She enjoyed Indian food. She attended the Krishna Consciousness Temple on the weekends. She liked to watch Indian movies. She loved wearing Indian clothes. She knew more about Indian movies and movie stars than I did. I liked her. We started hanging out and spending time with each other on the weekends and in the evenings. I was enchanted by her personality. She was smart and accomplished. She had graduated with a computer degree from MIT. We deliberately avoided talking about work, especially computers. Since she was born and raised in America, she had much to teach me about the culture, traditions, and life in America. I had not experienced life in America. My life had been a transition from one computer lab to another. Kathy taught me much about life that existed outside the computer lab. Kathy was my teacher. She taught me how to make love. She taught me how to enjoy my money. I practically saved all my earnings in the past. PK, think you have one day to live. Enjoy your life as if you have only one day left to live. Nobody is asking you to eat in a golden bowl every day, but savor a $100 dish at least once. We went to resorts, beaches, and retreats. We ate out. I started enjoying ethnic foods of all kinds. I think it was her company that made everything so special. I had been to some of the more fancy restaurants with my mentors, and a few times during conferences. We trekked in forest reserves, mountains. We visited museums. We saw rural and urban America. We enjoyed the fall and winter. For the first time I actually enjoyed the winters. We did water skiing. I did not do snorkeling and bungee jumping, but I tried my hand at so many new things. We walked many miles together. I started thinking of spending my life with Kathy. However, something was pulling me back. Something inside me was stopping me from getting on my knees and proposing to her. I was a believer. I am not joking when I say Krishna spoke to me through my thoughts and ideas. My inner self was not permitting me to utter the words marriage yet. Kathy brought a balance to my life. I lived in my make-believe world of total ignorance about my surroundings. I did not care about music, art, and culture. These things were for those with lots of money and idle time. I was a working man who had to earn his bread. I had spent all my life in studies. I worried more about the future than the present. I lived in my own world of augmented reality without caring about my current reality. My world was my research, work, my mother and me. America and India were in my vision, but only when I had to travel and show my passport. My life was computing and logic. I had kept emotions out of my life. In Indic philosophy, the creator is depicted as half man and half woman. Shiva was incomplete without Parvati. I had heard this many times. I started understanding its true meaning when I became involved with Kathy. She brought a different perspective to my life. I understood so much more about life. Beauty was not just beautiful flowers and valleys. The word beauty acquired a much deeper dimension. I recognized the inner beauty of fellow humans. I had experienced my mother's love as a son. I had experienced peer friendship with May and Lizzie. Kathy taught me what love was all about. I cared for her. I missed her. I thought about her at work, during work and after work. Kathy had penetrated my mind. She had conquered computing. I thought of buying her gifts. I imagined her in different dresses wearing jewelry. I saw her laughing and smiling in my thoughts. I started falling in love with her. Was it really love or just a mixture of lust and a lonely heart's cry for a woman's company? Whatever it was, it made me a gentler soul, a man with a sensitive heart and soul. I was not a bully or a cruel human, but sometimes I did not think before speaking. I started weighing my words carefully. I became mindful about what I said and how I said it. Kathy made me realize the power of words. In computing, words do not matter, logic matters. With women, words matter more than logic. I did not fight this change. I liked this change. Kathy made me happy. Kathy did not broach the topic of marriage at all. She was happy with her current life. I had thought of marriage but did not bring it up. Maybe it was my conservative upbringing. Kathy and I had become lovers. Do not be in a hurry, Kathy said. Take it easy. Enjoy lovemaking as if you are drinking old wine. Savor each minute of it. A touch there, a caress there, and a gentle kiss. I learned to enjoy wine sip by sip. I learned to drink old wine seasoned in old oak caskets stored for years. I enjoyed the old wine. We went to the Krishna Consciousness Temple on the weekends. We explored everything around us and found joy in living. I learned to live life from Kathy. She had a zest for life. At times her behavior was odd. She would start dancing suddenly on a busy market or in the street. Sometimes she went into silent trances. I indulged her. I dismissed her odd behavior from time to time as her minor eccentricity.
I want to visit India. I want to meet your mother. I want to see how your mother lives in India. I want to see the places where you grew up and went to school. I have been thinking about visiting India for a long time. I am fascinated by the Indian culture and Dharma. I want to visit Vrindavan and Mayapur. I want to visit the Krishna consciousness temples in India. I want to meet the disciples and the learned souls there. My soul is yearning for a trip to India for a very long time.
The two of us talked about God and purpose of our lives. We agreed that we wanted to be happy. We were in love. That was true, but it meant developing attachments. It meant having expectations from each other. It meant making demands. Kathy said that is where love ended and cohabitation became torture and compromises. I kept quiet. What could I say to her? Everything that she said was true. It was something that the great Buddha had said centuries ago. Attachments, desires, lust, and anger led to pain. We had planned a trip to Los Angeles. When we reached the airport, Kathy said, "Forget LA, let us go to India. Tell them at work that your mother is unwell and that you have to travel to India urgently." We changed our plans and boarded a flight to Delhi from LA. Mother had been asking me to visit her in Delhi for a long time. I had been thinking of visiting Mother for some time now. I had not told Mother about Kathy. I did not want to raise my mother's hopes about my marriage to Kathy. We had not talked marriage. Kathy had shown no interest in marriage. Her parents were divorced. She had good relations with her parents and step-parents, but she had a few reservations about marriage based on her life's experiences. I did not blame her or judge her. Kathy said, "Why live an unhappy life with someone when you invariably find incompatibility after marriage? Men behave differently after marriage." I had nothing to say, so I kept quiet. We gave Mother a surprise of her life. I told Mother that Kathy, a co-worker, was a Krishna devotee. She had wanted to travel to India to visit some of the Krishna temples. I too had been planning a trip to Delhi. We made a plan to surprise her. Mother was surprised but did not show it. Mother welcomed Kathy in her home with love and warmth. Mother was truly overjoyed to see the two of us. She cooked for us and indulgently fed us yummy food that I had been craving for a long time. The three of us slept in the same bedroom. The three of us celebrated Mom and my past birthdays that we had missed in the last 5 years. We cut a cake, but more importantly decided to visit Krishna temples and offer the poor some help. Mother said that is the least we could do. The 3 weeks Kathy and I spent with my mother were truly happy and memorable. Kathy and Mother found kindred souls in each other. They discussed many things that were of common interest to both, particularly spirituality. They shopped together. Kathy wanted to buy a few Indian dresses. Mother took her to Chandni Chowk where Kathy got to pick up the best traditional silk suits and saris. We visited Krishna temples. We had a great time. I felt less guilty for neglecting Mother who had aged in these years. The 3 weeks flew away quickly. We were exhausted by our constant traveling, but our spirits were high. Mother was happy. She did not ask me anything about Kathy, but I told her that I had been seeing Kathy for a year now. We had not talked about marriage yet. Mother kept quiet. It was time to go back to Stanford. We boarded a return flight without any problems. Mother was sad to see us go, but I promised to her that I would visit Delhi more often. Kathy was animated and happy about the 3 weeks we spent in India. Kathy and I reached Stanford safely. Both of us got extremely busy with our work. I wrote to Mother. Mother wrote back stating that she had run into June, the girl I had a crush on. Mother used to teach June in her home. Mother wrote that June was not married. She had told me a lie about June's engagement to keep me out of trouble. Kathy and I had not met each other after coming back from India. Work had piled on due to our unscheduled trip to India. Both of us were conscientious workers who believed in doing our best. We spent the weekend together. In the afternoon we watched a movie. In the evening we were walking in the commons when we ran into Eric, a tall, distinguished young man who was Kathy's friend. She introduced us and we talked politely with each other.
Eric was my old boyfriend and soulmate. We were deep in love. We had planned a wedding. On the day of our wedding, I had a panic attack. I was afraid that Eric and I were going to end up like our parents, distrustful of each other and the idea of love, marriage and commitment. I wanted to enjoy my freedom. I wanted to experience life, date other men and see what was out there. I was too young to get caught up in the cycle of marriage, children and a trophy housewife. I had studied at MIT. I was an achiever. I did not want to reduce myself to becoming another human's maid or piece of property. I had many doubts about marriage. Eric and I talked about old times. I owed him an apology because I ran away from his life without an explanation. He asked me about PK. We are in a serious relationship, I said. Kathy, I do not see an engagement ring, Eric said. We are not engaged, I said. Kathy, we were great together, give us a chance, Eric said. I do not promise, but I am open to meeting you, I said to Eric. Eric had many qualities. PK was a great guy, but he was a geek. I had to teach him the ways of the world. After meeting Eric a few times, I felt that Eric was a more suitable partner for me because of our similarities. He had all the good qualities that a woman desires in a man. I was tempted to tell PK that I was going to date Eric, but I knew this news would devastate PK. He had been giving me hints about marriage for a long time. I was caught in a bind. My heart and brain wanted Eric, but I did not want to hurt PK.
Kathy started avoiding my phone calls. She did not return phone calls even when I left her emotional messages. Kathy was my world. I felt lost. I followed Kathy one day and saw her hanging out with Eric. Finally, I said to Kathy, I saw you with Eric. You need to explain what is going on.
I am sorry, PK. You are a great guy, but Eric is the man I want to marry.
Mother called that night. I have been restless since you left. My gut tells me you are hiding something from me. What is going on, PK? Mother asked me. I told her the story. PK, Kathy is not a part of your destiny. She came to your life for a purpose. She taught you how to love a woman. Let go of her and move on. If you are sad, come back to Delhi, Mother said. I boarded a plane and reached Delhi.
How is my boy doing?
Not good. I feel a deep gnawing feeling in my stomach. I feel like crying. I feel as if I have lost everything I had. I feel worthless. I feel my life is hopeless.
PK, the two of you are not destined to be together. In life you will meet many fellow humans who will travel with you. Think of your life as a transcontinental train journey. Many passengers will leave on the way. Many passengers will join you on the way. Many passengers will follow you from the beginning to the end. But once they alight from the train, they will hail a cab and go their separate ways. Some will share a cab ride with you to the hotel, but they will depart sooner or later. If you are afraid to stand alone, you can walk into a crowded place, but in the end you will be all alone. Krishna told Arjuna, let go of your attachments and fight. Live for tomorrow. One day, I will die and so will you. Live for today and tomorrow. Do not live in yesterday because it will never come back.
Mother, I am fighting with myself. My heart is hurt. My brain echoes what you said. I cannot understand Kathy's behavior. We did not fight or argue about anything. We had spent more than a year together. In this 1 year I had no fights with her. I tried to accommodate her in every possible way. I feel cheated and backstabbed. She did not have the decency to come to me and explain herself. She avoided my phone calls and refused to return my calls. I did not deserve this behavior because I had not done anything to deserve it in the first place. Kathy used to tell me that I was living in my own world of computing. She was right. I came out of it due to her, but what she did was the exact opposite of what she preached. She could have at least tried to explain herself to me.
PK, think it from her perspective. She wanted to break up, but it is possible she was not sure how you would react. No breakup is painless. I am not defending her. She had her choices. She chose Eric, whom she had forsaken in the past. She suffered the consequences of her karma only to find you. Maybe you taught her something about relationships. What does a tree get when a stranger who gave it nothing plucks a fruit from it? Nothing, but the tree is happy to give away its fruits to the needy. Become that tree that rejoices in giving away. Only a tree laden with fruit spends, not a barren tree. You have much to give to the world and to yourself. You are standing at life's crossroads, paralyzed, hurt and confused. You know sometimes children kill themselves over a failed exam or a failed relationship or something material. The world forgets them in seconds. You are an achiever. I sacrificed my life so that you could become somebody. Do not throw your life away for the lust or love of a woman who did not reciprocate it. Remember the folklore about that devoted lover who leaped into a flooded river to meet his beloved. Remember the story of Mirabai who loved Krishna, that she did not care about the consequences of her actions. Love yourself before you can love others. Let your heart heal. Pray, rest, eat and forget about Kathy, computing and America.
We met June during our visit to the Krishna temple. She had grown up to become a pretty young woman. She was dressed up in a colorful suit and looked stunning. She came to meet Mother and greeted both of us warmly.
How are you, PK? When did you come back? How long are you staying? Your mother tells me you earned a doctorate in computer sciences and are a recognized authority in the field of augmented reality.
I did not know that you knew so much about me. Are you interested in computer sciences, June?
I was interested in you the day I saw you at your mother's home, but your mother told me to focus on studies and not you. I am glad that I'll listen to her then. I am now a physician. I have cleared my qualifying exams. I am applying for residency training in the USA.
June, that is very impressive. I do remember Mother telling me that she met you at the temple. I am glad that you have cleared your qualifying exams. You must have done well in your medical studies.
I was an honors student in my medical college. I was third in my batch in the final year exams. I was second in the All India postgraduate entrance exam. I got into MD in internal medicine. I finished my postgraduate training a month ago.
I have always liked June for you, PK. She is a bright girl. I think she will be a good match for you, PK. Why don't the two of you talk to each other? If both of you agree, I and June's parents will arrange your marriage.
I grew up in India. This is how Indians marry their partners. I had liked June since the time I was in high school. She had blossomed into a fine doctor and a pretty woman. It took Kathy a few minutes to break up. Mother was right. I had to move on. June had many questions that I answered. I told her about Kathy and my breakup. June did not query me much about Kathy. I did not tell her about my true feelings and hurts that I had experienced after the breakup. I wanted to be truthful about everything related to me. June asked me a lot of questions about my work and life in America. I gave reassuring answers to June. She wanted to be reassured. We got married in a simple ceremony. The marriage was a simple affair, but it was a big extended family affair. It took us 2 days to make our extended families happy. Afterwards, we flew to Srinagar, Shimla and Amritsar. We went to all the famous tourist places in Kashmir and Shimla. We went to pray and seek blessings of the Gurus at the Golden Temple. We tried new dishes and ate at different restaurants. We worked a lot. June had this burning desire to see everything and soak everything. She pushed me with her to visit every tourist location on her itinerary. She had amazing enthusiasm for going to all the crowded tourist locations. I followed her lead quietly, though my body wanted to rest and sleep. Mother had reminded me to be patient. Do not forget you are not in America. Do not get impatient with June. Listen to her. You will be happier that way. I found my visit to the Golden Temple to be the most peaceful. I sat down and listened to the kirtan. I felt better. I had stopped thinking about Kathy, but that experience made me afraid to love anyone with the same intensity. I could not say with honesty that I loved June the way I had loved Kathy. In Indian culture, love develops after marriage. Even if one finds one's own partner, married life and relationship dynamics after marriage are so different than the courtship period. We spent a couple of days making travel arrangements for June. Finally, I had some time for my mother. The three of us went to see a movie. While I was watching the movie, I realized that my mother was always the giver and I was a constant taker. It was always about me, my studies, ambitions, and heartbreaks. My mother has spent 27 years of her life worrying about me, taking care of me. I felt sad. We flew to California and settled down into a routine. June had no difficulty getting a residency position. She was happy and relieved. I started my own company. It gave me much needed freedom to work at my own pace and sometimes not work at all. June was happy with me. I was laid back and let her do her things. June watched all the new movies and plays in town. She said culture was very important to her.
Oh, Auntie, what is wrong? Are you sick? Should I call the doctor?
Yes, Rena, please call the ambulance. Do me another favor, please send an email to PK. Tell him that his mother is not well. She needs him urgently to come to Delhi.
Auntie, I have called the ambulance. They should be here soon. Please keep lying down. I have texted a message to PK and sent him an email. I will call him on WhatsApp too. Do not worry about your house. Mother and I will take care of everything. Hello PK, this is Reena, your neighbor, calling from Delhi. Your mother is not well. She has been sick ever since you left. I have taken her to the hospital twice. She is having chest pains. She has heart trouble. Please come urgently to Delhi. She asked me to send you a message and an email. She is getting admitted to Names Heart Institute today.
Thank you, Reena. I really appreciate your efforts to inform me and help my mother. Tell her I will be there on the next available flight to Delhi. Meanwhile, please keep texting me about her health status. Tell her that you spoke to me and I am coming. Thanks, Reena. I owe you big time. June mother is not well. She has heart trouble. I think she had a heart attack. I have booked my flight to Delhi tonight. I have called a cab. I am leaving now. I do not know when will I be back. I will take care of all the bills when I get a breather. You take care of yourself and stay safe. I didn't lose my cool or show any emotions to June. I wanted to fly at the speed of light and reach Delhi. I felt sad and guilty. America had fulfilled my ambitions and made me happy professionally, but in the process I had totally neglected my mother. What if something happened to her before I reached Delhi? I would never forgive myself, I thought to myself. I landed in Delhi and reached the hospital as quickly as I could. Mother was alive but pale and sick. I could sense something was seriously wrong. I was a little angry. Why didn't she tell me all this time that she was having heart trouble? Maybe she cared too much about my happiness. She must have held back because I was newly married and she did not want to trouble me. How are you feeling, Mother?
Now that my PK is here, I can die in peace.
Mother, please do not talk like this. You are in the best hospital in Delhi. I am sure the doctors here will take good care of your heart trouble.
Hello, I am Dr. Shalu Patel. You must be the famous high-flying American computer scientist, son. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are the son, but had it not been for Reena, your neighbor, your mother would have died of a heart attack. The poor girl called the ambulance and called me personally. I came running to the hospital. Your mother was my teacher and had mentored me. Please take care of your mother. She needs you now. She single-handedly raised you and you ran away to America, leaving her all alone.
Dr. Patel, you are right. I am guilty as charged. I promise you that I will not leave her alone now. I wish she had told me about her heart problems. I got married recently. Maybe she thought that telling me about her health problems would upset me. I am not making excuses, but I had been going through the same thoughts. With Krishna's grace, I can work from anywhere I want to. Thank you for taking such good care of my mother, Dr. Patel.
PK, your mother is very lucky. Reena did not waste any time calling the ambulance. We did an emergency procedure to open a nearly blocked artery of her heart, which was the cause of her chest pain. She has to regularly take all her prescribed medicines. She has to attend our heart rehabilitation program. She has to do these exercises diligently. She needs to eat healthy. She needs to rest and sleep well. She can do well with the treatment. It depends on you and her. Now we have done everything we could.
Shalu, my son is totally devoted to me. He came running to Delhi.
Mother defended me in front of Dr. Patel, but I got the message. Krishna had been speaking to me about my duty for some time. That today he spoke to me directly through Dr. Patel. I owed my mother everything. Without her support, I would not have achieved anything in life. She did not accept 1 penny from me in all these years. She was a giver and I was a taker. The roles had to reverse now. I did not know how June would react to the changed circumstances, but I was prepared for everything. Mother did what Dr. Patel had told Mother to do. I ensured Mother followed her instructions. Before my arrival, Mother was not feeling well. She stopped cooking proper regular meals and managed with butter and bread. Sometimes she ate ice cream. Mother had become depressed. She had started believing that she was going to die all alone with nobody around her when she would be going through her last breaths. She never shared these fears with me. She told all these fears to Dr. Patel, her cardiologist. Mother was a great teacher and had mentored hundreds of girls in her career. Dr. Patel was one of Mother's many students. Mother cried her heart when she was admitted for her heart attack. I do not want to die before my son reaches Delhi, she had wailed. I could not understand Dr. Patel's outburst when she saw me, but she patiently explained to me Mother's fears when we were alone. I had not done what a normal son should have done. Once I understood Mother's fears and frame of mind, I knew that I had to be near Mother. I had a gut feeling that June would be reluctant to move back to India. You suffered as an immigrant because you were accustomed to a different culture. Your parents suffered because you were not there when they needed you. It was a tough situation. Dr. Patel visited Mother in her home. She encouraged Mother with her kind words. My presence made a difference to Mother's mood. Mother became her normal self. She and I talked about her fears. Reena, our neighbor, had been a great help. All this while June stayed aloof. She did not call or inquire about Mother's health. I found her behavior strange, but I did not want to deal with her at the time. I wondered if she was going through some problems. She was an assertive woman. She knew how to reach me. I had sent her emails and text messages regularly, but she responded with emojis and one-liners. I was too tired to care about her temper tantrums. I cooked for Mom and myself. I managed everything else in the house. I worked from Mother's home and stayed up all night to talk to my American clients. This was life. It was bitter and sweet. Mother needed me. I was a human, not a superhuman. I went to the market to buy everything from spices to fruits and vegetables on foot. I did not use a cab. I carried everything on my shoulders. I walked 2 to 4 miles every day buying groceries and running errands. I became an expert of sorts in haggling with vegetable sellers to buying the best quality produce. Things that I took for granted in a supermarket in America acquired a different meaning when I picked them up in the fruit and vegetable market. The vendors recognized me and wanted to chat with me. In a strange way, I became a part of everything around me. I felt relaxed and happier. I bought oranges and squeezed orange juice for Mother. I peeled vegetables and cooked food for both of us. I felt at peace with myself and Krishna. I came out of augmented reality and lived a real Indian day-to-day life in addition to my computer work. I did not know that one could feel so much joy buying fruits and vegetables. I had enjoyed cooking in the past but now enjoyed it even more. I sang Krishna bhajans loudly and Mother sang with me. Mother was a good singer and an amateur musician. I had no interest in music growing up, though Mother had taught me how to play the harmonium. I realized that Mother had become stubborn about many things. She refused to eat many fruits and vegetables. She complained that the food was too bland. Dr. Patel had asked me to go easy on butter. After some experimentation, I managed to cook nutritious meals for Mother that had a flavor, aroma, and taste that she liked and approved of. Mother was slowly recovering. Her appetite had improved. She volunteered to cook, but I insisted that she would not do any type of physical labor. Mother, please understand that you are not out of the woods. Let your body heal first. I love doing all this. I enjoy cooking. I find it much easier to do everything with my own hands rather than depend on hired help who would give me a hard time, I said. Mother was perceptive. She could sense many things. She had sensed that something was not kosher with June's behavior. I had thought about it too. I was not sure what was going on. When I had left California, everything between us was normal. Her parents had visited Mother twice when she was in the hospital, but after that they too had gone silent. In the Indian context, this was truly abnormal. In Indian culture, everyone inquired about a sick person. I had learned one thing after Kathy's experience. Whatever had to happen happened. I called June, who sounded evasive. Is everything all right? I asked her, but she did not respond. Mother insisted that I should pay attention to June. She is your wife and deserves your attention. I consulted Dr. Patel, who gave me permission to leave Mother in India and go to California. I made arrangements so that Mother would have no problems in my absence. I did not tell June about my impending visit. What was going on, I wondered. June knew that Mother was not well. She was a doctor. She knew much more about physical illnesses than I did. She as doctor should have empathy, if not sympathy, for my mother. Mother had been kind to her and was instrumental in facilitating our marriage. Mother had been her teacher. I flew to California with a sense of doom and apprehension. Mother felt guilty that her illness in some way was the cause of June's strange behavior. Mother was a giver and a straightforward person with no mean bone in her body. June was full of mean bones. Once we had reached California after our marriage, June refused to do any household chores. I cooked and cleaned after her without any complaints. To my dismay, June had changed the locks of our house. I waited for her in the open for 3 hours. I was sad and angry. I knew I had to be tactful. Finally, she came back. Why did you change the locks? I asked. She did not respond. I followed her inside the house. I was tired. I showered and fixed a sandwich for myself. I offered her half of my sandwich, but she was sullen. What is wrong with you, June? I asked.
PK, I want a divorce.
June, why? What did I do to deserve that?
PK, I am in love with someone. I don't want to live with you.
June, are you sure? Do you understand the consequences of your words?
Yes, PK, I am sure.
In that case, I will leave tomorrow morning. You can send me divorce papers by mail.
PK, I cannot allow you to sleep in the same bed with me. You need to leave now.
June, you forget this is my house. I can call the police and have you legally thrown out of this house. I told you I will leave tomorrow. Do not make this difficult for yourself. When I was about to leave next morning, June wanted to say something, but I left without a word with her. My heart had turned into stone. I was angry and deeply hurt. June had used me to come to America and had the gall to tell me to leave my own home. I did not know that people could turn so vicious. What was wrong with this world? My nerves were frayed. I knew that I had to calm down. What was to be gained by getting angry? She was in love with someone. Good for her. I was not in love with her. I married her to please my mother. She could live in my house only as long as I permitted her to live there. She would have to deal with lawyers. I did not care. I had lost her. I was sad for her. I pitied her. I could make her life so much fun, but she wanted to live with someone else. I pitied her as much as the man she found for herself. She was mean and the man had to be at least as mean, if not more. Screw her, I said. No more gentlemanly behavior, I promised to myself. I plucked June from my heart when I landed in India. I knew Mother would want to know what had happened between June and me. I did not want to upset her, but there was no escape from reality.
PK, how is June? You returned back in 6 days. Is everything all right between you and June?
Mother, we will talk tomorrow. I spent the next week getting back into my routine. I went to the market for grocery shopping. I bought fruits and vegetables. I cooked. I avoided talking about June. I got rid of June and her toxic effect on my mind. I felt in command of myself. I decided to talk to Mother, so I took her to the nearby park. Mother, when I reached home, I realized that June had changed the locks. I waited 3 hours outside my home. When she returned, I asked her, why did you change the locks? She did not respond. I showered. I made a sandwich for myself. She said, PK, I don't want to stay in marriage with you. I am in love with someone. I want you to move out of the house. I will leave in the morning. I said, no, you must leave now. She said, this house is my property. I can call the police and have you removed. I said. After that, she kept quiet. I left the house without a word in the morning. This is what happened in America.
PK, I am sure you are hurt, angry and confused. Let all this out of your system. It was my fault. I misjudged June. June was involved with a boy here. She had run away with a boy to Kashmir. Her parents alleged that the boy had kidnapped her. They had filed a police complaint. She came back to Delhi after a week. I heard that this boy doctor went abroad after this episode. After a few weeks, June came to meet me. She told me her story and cried. What should I do? She asked me. You must think with your brain and not with your heart, I said. I cannot forget my boyfriend, she said. Give yourself some time. You will have your answer, I said. After that, I started seeing her at the temple on a regular basis. We chatted. I have decided to make a fresh start in life. I am over my boyfriend, she said. I ran into her after your breakup with Kathy. Where is PK? She asked me. PK is in America. He was involved with a girl there, but they broke up, I said. I want to marry PK, she said. June, you were in love with some boy you had eloped with to Kashmir. What happened to that? I asked. I am over him now. He had brainwashed me. I had time to think about my life all this time. He was not the right person for me, she said. June, let us see what happens when PK comes to Delhi. I asked people around and they confirmed to me that June was not involved with anyone. Everyone said she was back to her normal self. Her parents came to meet me and proposed a marriage between you and her. I told them about your affair with Kathy. They said both of you are young and naive and had made mistakes. I agreed. You know the rest of the story.
Mother, I wish I knew the story about June and her affair before our marriage. I told June about my affair with Kathy. She didn't tell me about her past. I did not care about her past. I wanted love and affection from her, nothing more. I would have asked her only one question: are you over your past affair? June is still in love with this man. In my absence, they must have resumed their romance. I wish them well. I will not go back to June. I have confronted myself. I feel betrayed. I have made peace with myself. It was my karma. I did not do my duty to myself. I rushed into a marriage. I assumed that June was the same girl that I knew in high school. I do not blame you, Mother, so don't feel guilty.
PK, I will tell you only one thing that I have told my students over the years. Do not be impulsive. Give yourself time. The truth lies within you. Krishna will guide you. Listen to your rational voice and then act on it when your mind is at peace.
Mother, you focus on your health. I will take care of household matters. We will not discuss June. If her parents come, we will not say anything to them about the divorce. Let her take the first step.
PK, hello, this is June calling. PK, I am sorry. I was rude to you. I behaved very badly with you. Please forgive me. I don't want us to be divorced. Please, PK, forgive me. I was under stress at work. I blamed you for not being there for me when I needed you. I realized that you were busy with your mother. PK, please, I am begging you. There is no other man involved.
June, it is over.
PK, was that June? Did she say she was sorry? Did she say to you that she did not want a divorce?
Yes, Mother, she said all that. I told her it was over.
PK, let us go to the Golden Temple to pray. We need a change of pace. I am sure you will find peace and solace there.
Mother and I visited the Golden Temple. No one can give you inner peace. One has to break away from distressing thoughts that cloud the mind. We lack the discipline to tame the mind. Prayers and meditation are the best ways to do so. Music, dancing, singing, exercise, or any activity that takes away the distressing thoughts helps. Once you break the cycle of these distressing thoughts, you are in control. I was doing that by visiting temples and walking.
PK, when I lost your father, I was pregnant with you. My family asked me to undergo an abortion. How will you bring up a child as a single mother? Men do not accept children from previous marriages, they said. I said I will not abort my baby and I will not remarry. See, I have you, my dearest child, all grown up, a computer scientist with a doctorate. PK, life presents us with difficulties. It is up to us as to how we deal with them.
Mother, you are right. You did the right thing by having me. I will do the right thing for myself. I did not abandon June. I did not talk of divorce with her. However, I do not want to live with her anymore. Her behavior with me after marriage was not right. I took Mother for regular checkups. Mother was taking cholesterol-lowering medicine that Dr. Patel had prescribed. Mother was taking 81 milligram aspirin. Dr. Patel said it protected against heart attacks and strokes. Mother was walking a mile every day. Mother ate fruits and vegetables. She did not eat ice cream and unhealthy snacks anymore. Dr. Patel said all the blood tests like her hemoglobin, blood urea and creatinine were normal. Dr. Patel did an echocardiogram of Mother's heart. You look happier and it shows in your health, Dr. Patel said.
It is all because my son is with me. He does everything for me. He does not let me do anything. In the past, I had no time for myself to rest, think or worry about myself. My son has taken all my problems on his shoulders. Thanks to you, Dr. Patel, I feel energetic and better. May God bless you and give you a long and healthy life.
Mother charmed Dr. Patel with her words of praise for her. She meant every word. It is good to be acknowledged and respected. Doctors risk their lives and go out of the way to help the sick. I, like my mother, was truly grateful to Dr. Patel. Both of us expressed our true feelings of gratitude to Dr. Patel in words. She blushed. It was the fall season. The trees were shedding their leaves. They were shedding them off without any regrets. That is the way of nature. That is how nature rejuvenates itself. That is what our Dharma teaches us. We are born, we live, we die, and then we are reborn. Just like the trees and plants, animals grieve their dead but move on. I had grieved for Kathy and June enough. I had to live till my end would come. I could not live in grief and bereavement forever. Life had to go on. I was not going to pick up the shed leaves. I let the wind blow them away. Soon it would get cold and dreary. This was life, bitter and sweet, sad and happy like the four seasons.